So, let me ask you this. What happens when DJI takes one of its most beginner-friendly drones and decides to level it up? Well, we may soon find out. Because all signs are pointing to the DJI Neo2 being right around the corner. And if the leaks are anything to go by, this little drone could pack more upgrades than anyone expected. Whether you're a first-time flyer or a seasoned pilot, looking for a lightweight travel companion, the Neo2 is shaping up to be a drone you'll want to keep your eyes on. It's been almost a year since DJI dropped the original Neo. And let's be real, while it wasn't meant to replace DJI's higher-end lines like the Mini or Air series, it carved out a unique space of its own. Compact, safe, easy to fly, and designed for casual users who wanted pro-level fun without the pro-level price tag. Fast forward to today, and the Neo2 is already popping up in certification databases. First, the evidence: the drone recently appeared in the FCC database in the US, and now it's been spotted in Singapore's IMDA certification list. That's usually a very strong indicator that a launch is near. Quick shout out to Mauro Tandoy, the eagle-eyed leaker who caught this. Basically, whenever a product shows up in these databases, it means the company has officially registered the radio components. Think of it as a passport stamp before the drone travels the world. Now here's the fun part. The FCC listing didn't just reveal the drone itself, it also included a separate transceiver listing. That points to a new remote controller. Could it be a beacon or an RID module? Possible. But the paperwork doesn't really scream that. It's much more likely DJI is updating the remote to go along with the Neo2, and if history repeats itself, new remotes often come with improved transmission ranges and stronger connectivity. Translation: fewer signal dropouts when you're trying to impress your friends with your pro pilot maneuvers in the park. Let's talk battery life. This is a big one. The Neo2 will reportedly carry a 1606 mAh battery, compared to the original's 1435 mAh. That's about a 12% increase, which may not sound like much, but in drone terms, it's a huge deal. We're talking about a bump from 18 minutes of flight time to potentially 20 or even 21 minutes. Now, 20 minutes might not seem like a lot if you're used to the Mini for pros 30+ minutes, but let's remember the Neo2 is much smaller, lighter, and safer for beginners. So squeezing out those extra 2 to 3 minutes could mean the difference between nailing the perfect sunset shot or crash landing into your neighbor's rose bush. Speaking of size, DJI seems committed to keeping the Neo2 under the magic 250-gram limit. That's important because in many countries, including the US, you don't need to register it with the FAA if it stays under that weight. It's kind of like the carry-on baggage rule for drones light enough to travel without paperwork. While DJI hasn't confirmed exact weight, early info suggests it'll remain nearly identical to the original Neo's form factor. One of the most noticeable design changes is the new double-layered propeller guards. The first Neo had single-layer guards, which worked fine, but double-layered protection means better durability and safety. For beginners, this is a lifesaver. Literally, it makes indoor flying less risky, protects against accidental bumps, and keeps parents a little calmer when their kids borrow the drone for just one quick flight. Think of it as putting training wheels on your bike, but with a much cooler gadget. Now, the question everyone wants to know: the camera. The first Neo shipped with a 12-megapixel sensor capable of 4K at 30 frames per second. It also came with DJI's excellent electronic stabilization features like rock steady and horizontal balancing, plus 20 gigabytes of onboard storage for casual filming. That was more than enough. But the Neo2 could be stepping things up. Rumors point to a possible upgrade to a 1.3-inch CMOS sensor. If true, that's the same size sensor used in some of DJI's mini drones, and it's a massive jump from the original Neo's smaller 1/2-inch sensor. What does this mean for you? Better low-light performance, sharper detail, and more dynamic range. Translation: your sunset and nighttime shots could go from "that's nice" to "ho." Is this a Netflix series? Of course, nothing is official yet. But if DJI really does put a sensor of that caliber in such a small drone, it could turn the Neo2 into a powerhouse for vloggers, travelers, and anyone who doesn't want to lug around a big drone. As for features, we expect the Neo2 to keep all the smart modes that made the first Neo popular. Palm takeoff and landing, high-powered subject tracking, and quick-shot modes like drone or circle are almost guaranteed to return. These are the kinds of features that make flying less about skill and more about creativity. Even if you've never flown a drone before, you'll still come out looking like you've been flying for years. Now, before we all get too excited, here's an important reminder. Just because the Neo2 shows up in FCC and IMDA filings doesn't automatically mean it's guaranteed for US or European markets. DJI still has to navigate export rules, customs regulations, and regional approvals before deciding where this drone will actually sell. So while the signs are very promising, availability could differ by region. So, what do we have here? A compact, beginner-friendly drone that's expected to fly longer, capture better footage, and provide more safety, all while staying under 250 grams. If DJI delivers on these upgrades, the Neo2 might just become the new go-to drone for beginners, vloggers, and anyone who wants pro-level features without the hassle. Personally, I think the most exciting part is the rumored camera upgrade. If DJI puts a 1.3-inch sensor into the Neo2, that alone could make this tiny drone a big deal. But what about you? Do you think the Neo2 will be worth the upgrade from the original Neo, or will you wait to see what DJI brings with its Mini 5 Pro? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all things drones and future tech. Until next time, fly safe, fly smart, and I'll see you in the next video.